start on the left there with Anthony.
You've made a couple tough catches along the sideline this year. To see Andrew Marsh do that in a big situation late in the game, I mean, how impressive is that to you?
It's extremely impressive because I see him do that every day in practice, and just him, translate that to the game is just amazing because, young guy coming in, being a freshman, being able to step up and just make plays like that, like when we really need it, that's extremely important. So,
what's your guys' relationship like?
So that's like my little brother. So just guiding him and helping him just get better every single day. And, he's already pretty good, so I'm just helping him, like, hone in on his skills and just giving him little nuggets and stuff like that just to continue to get better.
We'll go over to the right here, Sam.
How have you seen Bryce improve as a passer from this game, maybe even compared to the last game or the games before that?
So just talking to him and, talking to him all week and stuff like that, I was just telling him, like, just keep taking what they're giving you. And I feel like he did a way better job of taking what they were giving him until he really couldn't anymore. This week, just talking about protecting the ball more. We talk about that every single week, and I know he knows that. I just feel like he'll get better at that, just taking care of the ball. So.
In the front left there, Isaiah.
How would you self-assess how your season has gone so far? Is it close to expectations, less? How do you look at it right now?
As far as
just your own production.
My production is what it is right now, and we're winning, so that's all that matters.
Over to your right here, in the back corner, Aaron.
Speaking of Bryce's turnovers, how do you think he handled the back-to-back interceptions and just that final drive?
He came back and he made a play, and I feel like that's what it's all about, just coming back and bouncing back. Like, you just got to get rid of that play, even if it's good. If it's a good play, if it's a bad play, you got to get rid of it, move on to the next play, and that's what he did.
The back left there, Joel.
It takes a lot of grit and resilience to grind out a game like that. How do you know, as individuals and as a team, that you guys have what it takes to win a game like that?
Just the belief on the sideline, like it never goes away. Like, it's always a chance to win the game. So if we get the ball back and we got to score, that's what we're going to go down and try to do. If the defense needs to get a stop, we're going to believe in them and be on the sideline and have their backs, because that's what they do for us. So.
Back to your right for review in the back here, Andrew.
The ball's so often getting thrown to one particular receiver, and you're not that player, I guess. Yeah, how does that make you feel, and how do you stay engaged?
Yeah, of course, I want the ball, of course, but I also have the, mindset of a former quarterback. So, like, if you're going to a guy and he's hot, like, keep going to him. Let him keep going, and that's just how I feel about that. Like, if I'm hot, keep going to me. If Marsh is hot, keep going to him. So that's the good thing about having a guy on each side. So.
A little further in the front here, Ryan.
With Justice out and then Jordan Marshall going down late in the game too, I guess, what does it feel like there's added pressure on this passing game moving forward?
Added pressure, I mean, if it is, that's what we want, We want the pressure on us, so.
And what do you think is about your RPO game that makes it effective when it's working?
I think our run game really helps the RPO game because, you get safeties just, filling the runs and stuff like that, and, it helps us kind of get the ball over their heads and stuff like that. So I feel like the run game really helps in RPOs.
You're just next to Ryan, Tony.
Yeah. Everybody knows what's coming in 2 weeks, but first he's got to go to Maryland. They haven't won since September, so there might be like a natural human element to overlooking them. How do you ensure that something like that doesn't happen?
For us, our mindset is every game is a playoff game. I feel like just going into each week, it's just a new matchup, new competition, new game. So records don't really matter at this point in the season. I mean, they do, but for us, where we're trying to go, like, we need to lock in on every single team and every single game. So.
All right, just a few more for Donaven in the back on the right. Zach?
You talked about being a former quarterback and giving it to Marsh when he has the hot hands. How do you feel like throughout this season you've kind of helped Bryce, as a former quarterback, go through the highs and lows of the season?
Like I said earlier, just something I learned as a quarterback was taking what they give you until you can't. And I feel like that's going to help him along the way, like, especially as a freshman quarterback, just taking the easy things, and he's getting better at that, and yeah.
All the way to the right and back, Larry.
Another question about Bryce. How do you think he has handled, having all eyes on him since he stepped foot on campus?
I think he's handling it pretty well. You know, you see a lot of cameras and stuff like that around the new guys and stuff like that. I guess, like, you know, college football is changing. So you just, with NIL and stuff, you see a lot of just glitz and glam. But, you know, he's working, like, and I see him working every single day. So that's what's important to me. That's what's important to the team, the coaches, just working every single day and, you know, just getting better.
In the middle there on the right, Angelique.
Donaven, you talked about if he has a hot hand, you know, go with him. It sounds like a very mature response. How long does it, were you always like that, or is that something that took you some time to get to that place?
I mean, like I said, you know, former quarterback mindset. So, you know, when I was going to a guy and he was hot, I would keep going to him. So I kind of always had that mindset. Like, I want to win first. So, yeah.
Anything more for Donaven?
And what was your reaction to Zvada's kick? Like, what were you doing on the sideline?
I was just watching, just ready to, you know, ready for him to make that kick. You know, I had all faith in him, you know, so.
All right, we'll finish things up here in the front right with Ryan.
How closely do you guys pay attention to the college football rankings, and what do you guys think about where you guys stand right now?
Really, I take it week by week, you know. We got a new opponent this week in Maryland, and that's what we're focused on.